Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is our third session related to Python, and today we are going to continue our same chapter, that is chapter number 2, variable and string manipulations. So let's continue from the point where we ended our session 2. Open your Python ideally. In case if you do not know how to open the Python ideally, just check my previous session related to Python and you will get the idea. Okay, so now we are going to see how to compare two variables in Python. Compare two variables in Python. Okay, so suppose variable A consists of a value 1. Okay, variable B also consists of a value 1. Now, if we want to compare whether A is equal to B or not, we need to give this symbol. Okay, A equal to B. So output is true. Output is true means what? A is equal to B, and that is true. Okay. Now suppose if I declare A equal to 1, A consists the value 1 and B holds the value 2. Now if we compare these two variables, whether A is equal to B or not, we will get the result as a false. Okay. Now mention A equal to B, hit enter, you will get the output as a false. That means A is not equal to B. Okay. Now if I show you another example, A equal to 1. Now B equal to what I am mentioning 1. Okay. Now if we see whether A is equal to B or not, we will get the result as a false. Why? Because A holds an integer value. 1 is an integer. But B holds an value which is a string. Because we have mentioned 1 under single quote. So whatever things we are going to mention under single quote or the double quote, Python will consider those things as a string. Okay. So although the values are same, but as this is an integer and this is a string, when we want to see that whether A equal to B or not, we are going to get the false result. Okay. Now we are going to see how to delete a variable. It's simple. Now suppose we want to delete the variable A. Okay. So what we need to mention del A. Now hit enter. Okay. Now if we want to see whether A exists or not, just print A. Look, see. Python not able to trace A because we have already deleted that variable A. If you want to see the value of B, you can see that one. It is coming as 1. Now, if you want to delete the variable B also, then just mention del del B, hit enter. Now, if you want to see whether B exists or not, you will get this error. That means it is not traceable. Python already deleted the variable B. Okay. Now we are going to see how to find a specific character in a string. Okay. Suppose variable A holds this string value. Now we want to see a specific character. For an example, you want to see that T. Okay. Then what we are going to mention here? we will mention 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, hit enter, you will get the T. Okay, now how T is coming under 3. Okay, so look, see, W, the numbering actually starts from 0 in Python. Okay, so W basically in the 0 position. Then in the 1 position, H is there. Okay, in 2, we have A. In 3, we have the T. So that is why I have mentioned here A3. So whenever you mention the things like this way, in return, you are going to get the specific character of that string. So this is a string value, and we are getting a specific character by mentioning the position or the numbering of that character. Okay, so how it is possible? In Python, numbering or indexing start from 0 and not 1. Okay, so W, that is 0 position, H1, A2, and T3. So numbering of the indexing starts from 0 in Python. Okay, now we are going to see how to write a string in next line. Okay, so suppose A hold a string value. Okay, so as of now, we have learned that we can mention the string in a single quote or a double quote. So for an example, here I have mentioned double quote, and I want to write like this way. What's your name? And in the second line, I am just hitting enter. Look, see, it is showing as a invalid syntax. That means you cannot change your line. Okay, but there is a way in Python where you can change the line of the string values as well. For that, what we need to do? So variable A equal to, instead of single quote or double quote, we are going to mention here 3 quotes. Okay, then mention your line. What's your name? And suppose in the second line also you want to mention something, you just mention what's your parents' name. Okay. In the third line also you want to mention something. Where is your native place? And now you want to close the string. Okay. Now if you hit enter and want to see what is the exact string value that variable A consists, you just mention A, hit enter. Now see what is coming up. What's your name? What's your parents' name? Where is your native place? So whatever we have mentioned in these 3 lines, variable A consists of all these string statements. Okay. Now, predefined functions. Predefined functions. What is a function? What is a function? Function is nothing but a piece of code written by someone else. Okay. So function is nothing but a piece of code written by someone else so that we can able to use those functions and do our work. Okay. So there are a lot of predefined functions available in Python. We are going to discuss some of the basic Python's functions which will be useful in your day-to-day activities. So suppose we want to capitalize the first letter of the string. Okay, capitalize the first letter of the string. Variable A consists of this string. This is a string. Okay. Now, if we use a function, predefined function, A dot capitalize, hit enter, what is the output we are getting? This is a function. So the first letter or the character will become a uppercase or a upper letter. Okay. Now, if we want to capitalize all the letters of the string, then what we can do? We can use a function upper, upper. Okay. Open bracket, close bracket, hit enter. Now see, all the letter of the string converted into a capital letter. Okay, so here only the first letter will convert into a capital letter, but if you use a dot upper function, then all the letters of the string will convert it into capital letters. Okay, now if we want to change all the letter into lower character, then what we need to do? We have a function available, predefined function available, that is lower. Okay, so suppose I am storing this string value in variable A. Okay, and all the letter of the string is in capital. Now we want to convert this into lower. So what we are going to use? Lower function, a dot lower, first bracket, second bracket, first bracket, open and close, then hit enter. Now see, all the letters got converted from capital into lowercase. Okay. Now suppose we want to see the repetition of any words in a string. Okay. We have to use a predefined function count. So suppose A is a variable and this is the string. This is a bag. This is a school bag. Now we want to see how many times we have used this in this string. So what we need to do? A dot count. We are going to use the predefined function dot count. First bracket open. Mention this. First bracket close. Hit enter. The output is coming as 2. That means the word this we have utilized twice in this string. Okay. Now, if we want to see how many times the letter T came into picture. Okay. So we can also mention a dot count T. It is also coming as 2 because apart from this one and this one, I cannot able to see any T later in this statement. Let's check with S. A dot count S. 5 times. So look, see here, this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So the letter S came 5 times in this string. Okay. So you can use this count function to see the repetition of any words or any letters in a string. Now, to see the end of a string is in a particular format or not. To see the end of a string is in a particular format or not. For this, we are going to use the function ensuite. Ensuite function. Okay. Suppose the variable a consists of this string google.com. Okay. Now a dot ensuite .com. So we are just checking whether this string ensuite.com or not. Okay. So if the string ensuite.com, then definitely the output will come as true. Look, see, it is coming as true. Okay. So this will be very useful to check whether the email ID they have put in a proper format or not. Okay. Now, how to find a string? How to find a string in Python? So a consists of this string value. Okay. Now we want to see whether Google is there or not. So we are going to use find function. Okay, how to find a string in Python. So output is coming as 4. Why the output is coming as 4? Let's see. www. So this first W has a numeric position of 0. As we discussed earlier that in Python, the indexing starts from 0, right? So the first W, the index is 0. The second W, the index is 1. This W, the index is 2. This dot, the index is 3. And this G for Google, the index is 4. So wherever it will find the first letter of the string, it will give the index position of that word. Okay. Here, suppose if we want to find GSH, whether GSH is available, GSH is not available here, right? So what we will get? We will get a negative indexing position. If you hit enter now, you will get -1. -1 means what? Means that word is not available in the string. -1 means word is not available in the string. In the string. Remember one thing. Remember one thing. Find will only give the location of first occurrence of what you are trying to find. Why I am telling this line? Find will only give the location of the first occurrence of what you are trying to find. Okay, so here we try to find Google, and it provided gave us the output of 4, which is nothing but the index position of the first occurrence of what we are trying to find, that is Google. Okay, so let's elaborate this line. Now, if variable a consists of this value, for an example, okay. Now, if you use the same formula, we will get the index position as a 0. This means this one, the first occurrence. Okay, it did not consider the second occurrence of that word. If it considered the second occurrence of that word, then apart from 0, there should be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The output needs to be 0, 7, but we have received only 0 because find will only give the location of the first occurrence, not the second occurrence of what we are trying to find. I hope this line and this example explains. To see whether a string is in lower character or not, we are going to use isLower function. Okay, so a consists of this string value. Now, if we want to see whether these characters are lowercase or uppercase, we mention this as a dot isLower. Okay, that is the predefined function name. Now, if we hit enter, the answer is true. Why it is true? Because this is in lowercase only. Okay, so that is why I have mentioned a dot is lower. Now, if I mention it like this way, a dot is upper, then we will receive the output as false. Why? Because the string is not in the uppercase. Okay, so to see whether the string is in lower character or not, we are going to use is lower. To see whether the string is in upper character or not, we are going to use this function is upper. Okay, now collide two functions using a dot. Suppose variable a consists of this string value. A dot upper dot is upper. Okay. Now if you hit enter, you will get output as true. So see, the output is coming as true. So what exactly we did? A dot upper. This one will first of all convert all the lower characters into upper characters. So we have used upper function to convert all the characters of this string from lowercase to uppercase. Okay. And in the middle, we have used this dot to combine dot used to combine two functions together, okay, and this upper function, this will check whether all the characters of the string is in uppercase or not. Okay, so first of all we have used this function to convert the entire string, that means this one, into a uppercase, and then we have used this is upper function to check whether all the characters of the string is in uppercase or not. So that is why we are getting the output as true. Okay. All right, so that is the end of today's session. So I hope that you have learned today something new concept, something new functions of the Python. And today again, we have continued the chapter 2, that is variable and the string manipulations. And in our upcoming session, we are going to complete this chapter. After completing the chapter 2, we will proceed to the chapter 3 that is related to the data structures of the Python. So till then, happy learning. Do some practice, whatever we have learned as of now, and see you in our next session. Thank you.